literally, in a move that could reshape the future of mining across the continent. The East African powerhouse has announced it will be taking back control of its gold resources within the next 30 days. Oh, that's right. No more playing second fiddle to foreign mining giants. Now, Tanzania joins a growing chorus of African countries waking up to the sobering truth. The real wealth has been under our feet all along, and it's high time we stopped giving it away for peanuts. At the center of Tanzania's gold shakeup
It's
is a new
Tanzania.
policy requiring all large scale miners to process and trade at least 20% of their gold locally. And they are not just talking the talk. This is law now. Mining companies, including global juggernauts like AngloGold Ashanti and Barrick Gold Corporation, are officially on notice. They must now allocate no less than 20% of their production for smelting, refining, and trading within Tanzania's borders. Even more dramatically, any company exporting gold must donate at least 20% of the commodity directly to the Bank of Tanzania.
You notice how he, you got to watch the wording on these reports. Donate 20%. No, it's a 20% fee for pulling gold out of the ground, and you're giving the country their fair share. It's not a donate. You should have to give the country that you're pulling the gold out of the ground. They should profit off of their resource that you're taking. Bottom line.
That is not a suggestion. It is a mandate, and they've got 30 days to comply.
Oh, by the way, I believe this might affect gold stocks a little bit.
But why now? Why the sudden urgency when this was first floated last year? Well, just follow the money. Gold prices are skyrocketing on the global market, and Tanzania knows it would be criminal to keep exporting raw materials while foreign companies laugh their way to the bank. Finance Minister Mwigulu Nchemba made it crystal clear in his 2025-26 budget address. Tanzania is done watching others get rich off its resources. This new rule is not only about sovereignty, it's about survival, pride, and long overdue justice. And Tanzania is far from alone. The gold rush towards local control is sweeping across Africa like wildfire. Look no further than Burkina Faso, where President Ibrahim Traore has pulled a bold move on its own. In June 2025, Burkina Faso handed over five major gold mining holdings to its state run company, Sopamib. That decision came almost a year after Traore's government began the process, slowly but surely elbowing out multinational corporations and reclaiming national assets. This wasn't just about policy, it was about power, about showing that African nations can manage and profit from their own wealth. Now take a flight west to Ghana, the country rich in gold history has thrown down its own gauntlet. As of May 1, 2025, foreigners have been completely banned from trading in Ghana's local gold market. That's not a half measure, that's a full ban, enforced by the newly created Ghana Gold Board or Gold Board. If foreigners want a piece of Ghana's gold, they will now have to apply through official channels. No more backdoor buying or unregulated mining deals. The goal? To strengthen the local currency, boost reserves, and keep value flowing within Ghana's borders, not out of them. And these three countries are just the tip of the gold iceberg. Mali, Zimbabwe, the DRC, and others are just moving fast to revisit old mining contracts, restructure the rules of engagement.
He obviously does not know that the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, just signed over most of their the mining rights, or America gets first pick and choose of any mining going on in the DRC because we ended a war for them at the request of the president of the DRC. I did a video on that, so he is wrong when he says the DRC. America controls most of the natural resources coming out of the ground. We do pay, a percentage to them, as is a typical should be doing, but no companies are in there. It's American companies only in the DRC.
And take charge of the minerals. They are no longer content with being suppliers of raw materials, while others do the refining, the trading, and most of all, the profiting. They are waking up to a simple, undeniable fact. Africa has always had the gold. What it lacked for too long was the political will to control it. But that will is here now, and it's not going away. For decades, multinational mining corporations operated across Africa under lopsided deals, extracting raw gold and leaving little behind in terms of economic benefits. Governments earned crumbs, local communities saw none of the profits, and the real money went offshore. But the tide is turning. The era of foreign exploitation may finally be on its way out, and a new era of resource nationalism is taking its place. Why should Africa settle for less when we hold the very resources that power global markets? Why should we export gold in its rawest form, only to import it back at 10 times the price as finished jewelry, electronics, or reserve currency? What if we decided collectively to build our own refineries, regulate our own markets, and create jobs for our own youth? What if we finally said, no more?
The number one food for regular BMs, huh? Okay,
Sorry
let's
about
see.
this, guys.
Fastest way to clear out stuck poop.
We don't want to know about that.
Imagine the possibilities if more African countries followed Tanzania's lead. First, we see a
Tanzania.
massive boost in job creation. Refining and trading gold locally means hiring local engineers, technicians, miners, traders, marketers, you name it. That's not just economic activity, that is economic empowerment. Second, government revenue would soar. With more gold processed in country, more taxes and royalties stay home, funding roads, schools, hospitals, and innovation. Third,
I did actually a video on Norway on how their economy runs, and they keep everything in every town they have because there's fjords all throughout the coastline of Norway. So every town has to produce its own stuff, and therefore the wealth is kept in that town. That's why per capita Norwegians are the wealthiest people on the world, because they don't have this city to city, country to country localized trade to where you ship the product out and the profit margin only goes to one person. They have it all localized in these little towns that are in these fjords. They do have access to outside, but it's easier to work with the local stuff, and that makes it keeps the wealth in that town. That's exactly what they're doing. Each of these countries, Ghana, Tanzania, uh, uh, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Ivory Coast, and I think one other. They're all starting to keep that production in country, which means the money stays in country, which brings economic gain. That's a known economic principle that not too many people talk about. I did do a video on it. I know about it, and that's why I've been doing videos on Africa, because I was kind of waiting to see if Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger were being courted to join BRICS and have BRICS kick out South Africa. So I'm still unsure of that one, but it looks real heavy for Russia's courting them to do that. But anyhow, let's get back to this program here. Enough of my chit chat.
would gain currency strength. Just like in Ghana, local gold controls, boosts foreign exchange reserves, stabilizes the economy, and curbs inflation. But more than all that, it's about dignity, it's about sovereignty, it's about Africans reclaiming ownership of African wealth. After centuries of extraction under colonial and corporate systems, the pendulum is finally swinging in our favor. This isn't just a gold policy, it is a political revolution.
That is true. And with that, oh wait, what's next? Let's see what's next.
So, what's next? Will Nigeria be next to tighten its grip on solid minerals? Was
Actually, Nigeria has the largest oil refining production facility. Just opened up last year. I did a video on it. It's twice as big as Saudi Arabia's oil production facility.
Zambia revisit its copper contracts? Will Namibia nationalize uranium? One thing's for sure, the world is watching, and the global mining industry is shaking in its boots. As Africans, we have the golden opportunity, literally and figuratively, to transform our economies from the ground up. The
He is 100% correct there. They do have the opportunity to do that. Whether or not they do depends on their leaders and who they vote for in leadership roles. And right now, the only country that I see that's not really doing that well is South Africa, because they've chosen to go with corrupt leaders who keep talking crap and want to do stupid stuff. Oh, that's right, they're part of BRICS. I forgot. Oops. So they're part of South Africa's part of BRICS, but yet we finance them. Weird, huh? We stopped financing them. They're going bankrupt. How interesting is that if BRICS relies on America to finance them? So I just have so many questions. You guys have a great day. Oh, by the way, this is Niels on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy yourself some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. And be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's so much better than being a jerk. And hang out with kitty cats. Kitty cats are cool. Have a good day.